Hey guys, Jared here again, this time with a video on a product that basically turns your smartphone into a dedicated handheld camera. This is the Cinema Mount by Pixel Addicts. It's a smartphone mount type rig that comes with one 0.45x wide angle lens, one 5x macro lens, a cold shoe mount, two graduated neutral density filters, and the filter holder. The body itself is made from a premium polycarbonate material and even has those funny little specks all over it, just like a high quality DSLR camera body does. And the grip is not only extremely comfortable to hold one-handed, but also CNC machined out of natural Siamese rosewood from Thailand. The mounting mechanism is spring-loaded with soft rubber pads to prevent your phone from getting damaged, and the smartphone sizing sliders are made from high-quality aluminum, so you don't have to worry about this thing falling apart on you after a little bit of use. A little side note though, it would appear that the LG G4 is quite literally as big a device as you can fit in it. But taking a really short walk around the rig, you can see the cold shoe mount threads at the top, as well as a bubble level and two strap mounts for shoulder carrying. On the bottom features the tripod mount threads, and finally on the back we have two aluminum rods for protecting your phone's screen while the mount is facing up on a surface or for simply holding onto for a better grip. Anyways, all that being said, it looks like an impressive little rig setup, but I was obviously curious to see how it performed out in the field. So my wife and I set out on an adventure to downtown Victoria, BC to be tourists in our own town. And what better phone to test it with than none other than the LG G4 with its full manual controls. Now, the first thing I noticed right away is that if you're using a phone with a camera that has optical image stabilization, like the LG G4 does, every now and then you're gonna get some black shading around the edges of the image because of the sensor inside the camera bouncing around, as you'll see with some of the clips I recorded. Now the second thing I noticed right away is that I got this really annoying bokeh ball in a lot of my shots when I was facing the sun, which made taking some shots incredibly difficult and annoying. Nevertheless, I was still able to take some really pretty shots. I then wanted to try out the included GME filters, but what I noticed right away is that it degrades the clarity of the shot, because I guess when you put a macro lens, then a wide angle lens, and then a filter over top of an already engineered smartphone camera lens, it's just too much lower quality optics for your smartphone camera to see through properly. Anyways, I took one picture with the filter and then instantly put it back in my bag. While I was downtown, I found that the wide angle lens configuration was the way to go, but while it does offer a wider field of view, it's only slight, and I noticed that for some reason the edges of the images get blurred right out, sort of ruining the shot. So downtown Victoria is pretty cool and all, but I was getting bored of all the earth tone colors, so we hop on over to the Government House Gardens for some sweet high color shots. This is where the macro lens came into play in a big way. Up-close shots were very sharp, and with the guard rods on the back of the rig, I was able to hold the setup in different angles that I normally wouldn't have been able to by just holding the phone itself. That said, while the macro lens helped me capture some really beautiful shots, the edges of the images also suffered from that same disfigured and blurry effect that the wide angle configuration did. By the end of the day, my thoughts on the cinema mount were that it can take some really amazing shots. It certainly looks cool, it's built incredibly well, and it's definitely functional by giving your smartphone's camera some added abilities with swappable lenses and GME filters, but where it lacks is lens optics, which is sort of the whole point of this rig system. And the lenses need to have knurled edges or maybe a simple magnetic locking system, because I found it incredibly difficult to unscrew the wide angle lens from the macro lens. Anyways, that's it for this one. I'll have a link for pricing and availability in the description below, but thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.